Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on the eighth session of our MicroStation Live series, where we uncover several elements of MicroStation and run through it with an application engineer to see how it's suitable for our workflows and how it can better make life easier for us as MicroStation users. So let's start. Thank you for joining us again today. Please go ahead and share your questions and comments in the section. We'll share them on the screen and we'll try to run through as many of the questions as we can today. You'll also get a recording of this. It goes onto our YouTube channel, YouTube Bentley MicroStation channel, where there is a link for it later. You can watch this and many of the previous episodes from there whenever you please. So stay tuned for our next session. It'll be in approximately 3 weeks' time. So if you add me on LinkedIn or my colleague Ronald, and we'll share our the next live session data on there, and please, feel free to join us. So my name is Mazlum Sarkam. I'm a civil engineer by trade, and I work at Virtuosity Bentley Systems, where I help users such as architects, BIM managers, and constructors, and owners and operators with modeling and visualization software such as MicroStation. And today we have a senior consultant with us today, Ronald. Do you want to say a few words to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Ronald Seike. I worked with Bentley Systems since 2004, and before that, I was a MicroStation user for many years. So I know that software since 1995, I guess, a long time. And yeah, my topic is the platform software MicroStation project-wise at Bentley Systems, and I do all the introduction training and consulting in this part.
Amazing, thank you. So yeah, today's topics, without much ado, let's jump right into it. So we'll be covering two topics today. I just want to give you a small highlight here, but these are two major topics that can all, are involved in many people's workflows, be it whichever discipline or vertical you're in. So the first element we'll be covering is accurate drawing. So MicroStation has a tool called Accurdraw, and it aids drafting and evaluates parameters such as the current pointer location, previously entered data points, and essentially Accudraw then generates the appropriate precision coordinates and applies them to the active tool. So it helps you understanding your previous to your future tasks and enables simpler work process there. The second point we'll be discussing today will be geographic coordinate systems. So we'll run through how MicroStation is able to understand geographic locations and how you can apply the Earth's surface and many other geographic forms to your own design content to give it more context in general and help the visualization. So yeah, without much ado, Ronald, we'll pass over to you so you can show these in action.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Geo-coordinate systems is also part of accurate drawing. You have to use a coordinate system in MicroStation, and there are I brought my favorite example. That's my metro station from a soccer stadium project. And before we're going to start with all the Accu tools in MicroStation for accurate drawing, we have to take a look at something like working units. Because if you want to draw accurately, you have to know what you get from the screen. What does the number mean here in my X value? Is it meter, is it feet or inches, or what is it? So you can always look up for this. It is part of the design file settings. If I go to utilities, then I can see, okay, this file is set to meters, and this is one part of these basic settings in the DGN file. If you look behind the scenes a little bit, then you can see what MicroStation can do in regarding accuracy. This is the working units setting. And as every CAD system, we measure something, we measure elements in pixels at the end, in little small steps. And at this point, we're going to take 10,000 of these pixels to create just 1 meter. So we can divide 1 meter into 10,000 small steps. That's accuracy, but you can also go to 100,000, a million. You can go more precisely if you need to. In this case, we have a drawing area, a working area of 9 8 zeros behind. That's 6 would be million, so this is 900 million kilometers. So it should fit for your projects with an accuracy of 1/10 of a millimeter. Of course, the area will reduce if you get more accuracy, but it's still 9 million kilometers. So what? Okay. So working units is the basic measurement here inside a DGN file, and every DGN file knows what unit it's set to. And the best thing is if you get something like this and you want to change this maybe to feet and inch, you simply change the working unit, and it doesn't matter. From now on, you can type feet and inch, if you want to. And let's say feet and inches for a subunit. Maybe you want to change also the decimal places, the accuracy. Maybe you want to get more to a fraction, like 1/16, and so on. This is what you can change on the fly in every MicroStation drawing. And from now on, I can measure everything in feet and inches, maybe. I stay with that setting, and let's see what happens. If I go back to my drawing, you can see that the numbers are changed in my X, Y, Z coordinates right over here. And everything I do now is set to these working units. I'd like to draw something right here next to my object, next to my station. Now let's say we draw a little block, and the working units are also used for dimension, for example. If I do a dimension, let me see if I got a style. I need a style with a bigger text, maybe. Let's see if it works. Yeah. Gonna change something here because we need a little scale. Let's say something like this. And then it was a little bit too big. Sorry, didn't try this before. So here we go. Now we got a dimension in feet. That's how you get used to it, how you do it every day. And as I told you, you can always change the working units on the fly. So if I go back to meters and millimeters, now you will see that we also recalculate the measurement, or the units, and the dimension will show meters now. That block wasn't really precisely. I just drew a block, a random block over here. Every design file in MicroStation knows what are the working units to create the elements. And if you get something, and I just had a training with BMW in the US, and the US guys, they work in feet and inches, and they get drawings from Germany, from the headquarters here in Munich, and then they have to compare feet and inch to meters, and it's absolutely no problem. You simply take the inch file and attach the reference in meters, and MicroStation will know how to deal with it. It's not so easy if you take a DWG file, because in that AutoCAD file there is not always the unit included. So we have to guess what unit was used to create the file, and that's much better in MicroStation. Okay, we know about the working units. The working units are part of the MicroStation file, and we know that they can vary precisely. You can go down to 1/1000 of a millimeter, and then you still have a large working area. The next thing to be precisely, to do an accurate drawing, is that you snap to existing elements. We have to connect the next line, for example. If I draw a line, then I have to connect this line exactly to this point. I'm just wondering, I can see on my second screen that my screen is not showing. Okay, now it's back. Okay, hopefully you can see it, what I'm showing here. So one of these Accu features in MicroStation is Accu Snap. An AccuSnap is that you get close to an element, yeah, to a vertex of an element, and then you can see this little yellow X coming up. That's a snap feature. So I can go here and then left click to accept, yeah, and I start drawing from here. And I'm sure that this point will be exactly at the right location. Yeah, it will connect to the existing element. We have different snap modes in MicroStation. Let me show you that over here. Yeah, these are different snap modes. And sometimes users come to me and say, hey, why isn't there any endpoint snap mode? We don't have it. But we have a key point snap mode. Yeah, because a key point is more than just an endpoint. A key point is, of course, the endpoint of a segment. That's one point here, the other point is over there. Yeah? Let me zoom in a little bit. So key point is endpoint of a segment, for example. Yeah, but key point is also something in the middle of this segment, yeah, half the distance. That's also a key point. So this snap mode is very strong. You can snap almost every point that you want to get. Yeah. If you have other elements, if you have other element types, sorry, yeah, like a circle, or maybe you have an arc, yeah, then you can, let's place an arc very quick over here, 3 points. Then these elements also have some key points, yeah, like the quadrant and the center point, yeah, and so on, start point, half distance, center point. These are key points in MicroStation. So almost everything you can snap to with the key point option. Other snap methods or options, modes are, for example, center snap. Now, if I want to get the center of a shape, then I go over here, get the center of this shape, and so on. Maybe you've got some intersection points. Let me draw another line. If I need an intersection, I go over here. That's an intersection. So you can change the snap mode and use it just like you want to. And yes, we have that feature that we can get multiple snap points together. It's also a question that I get very often in trainings. People come from AutoCAD and they say, "Hey, we have to change the snap mode so often." No, you don't have to. There's a multi-snap option. So if you don't want to change your snap mode that often, simply use the multi-snap. And from multi-snap, you can do some settings. So I can combine, I can bring together intersection, key point, center, maybe. I don't like that nearest. So these three are my most common or favorite snap modes. And with this mode, I can go to key points. This is the center point. This would be a key point. There's an intersection. I don't have to change my snap mode that often. And now I've got everything I need, 99.9%. Yeah? And sometimes I need a tangent or a perpendicular snap, maybe then I can change. So to snap to an existing point, to an existing element, that's very important to get an accurate drawing. You don't want to place the next element right next to an existing element. We want to go exactly where this intersection point is located. That's AccuSnap. And last but not least, let me show you something with a key point. We have some shortcuts from the keyboard. Yeah, so you could activate the intersection using an I, yeah, or C for center snap, and K for key point. And key point is special. If I type a K on my keyboard, then I get a key point snap divisor. And if you don't like that divide by 2, yeah, then you can say, okay, I need divide by 3 or 4 or 5. Let's say 3. And then I've got my endpoint, and the next one would be the first third, yeah, and the second third, and that's the other endpoint. Very helpful, yeah, if you have to divide some elements or some segments into smaller pieces, yeah, then you get the same length from just a snap mode over here. So that's the first Accu feature that we introduce in MicroStation. Accurate snap, precisely snap to an existing element. Let me clean this a little bit. I don't need these elements anymore. And I go back to my rotated view into 3D. So, okay, I'd like to go back to meters. Okay, I have to change my settings one more time. Let me do this very quick because with meters, I'd like to get 3 decimal places, and I need meters and centimeters. That's fine. That's okay. That's what I can always change every time. The next one that I'd like to introduce, the next Accu feature, Accurate drawing, is our Accurdraw. And maybe you already heard about this Accurdraw. And if you want to know if Accurdraw is running, you should look at your screen, and there is an XYZ dialog right over here. You can dock this to the border of your program window, or you can place this somewhere on the screen. This is the Accudraw dialog. And this is where you can type or maybe read something that you get from your cursor. That's somehow the distance to an origin. And at the moment, I don't know where my origin is located. It might be the drawing origin. You can see that little green and red icon over here, or symbol. This is the drawing origin. And maybe the distance I see in Accudraw is the distance from my cursor to that drawing origin, but I'm not sure. And to be sure, where is the origin from Accurdraw? We simply start drawing. I take a smart line tool, for example, polyline tool, and then I snap to an existing element using my AccuSnap. And the next thing I do is a left click to accept. And you can see that we get a little blue square at this position. And this is the Accurdraw origin. We call this a compass. And the compass show me a red and a green axis. The red axis would be the X axis, green would be the Y axis. You cannot see the Z axis because it's pointing towards me. It's coming straight out of my screen. So this is what you get from Accurdraw. This is the second feature, dialog and the compass showing the origin. And now I know what the numbers in the dialog means. So if I go to the left, then I can see this is 3.5 meters in X direction, minus X. Accudraw is kind of a dynamic temporary coordinate system. It's gone as soon as you place the next point. Then the coordinate system, the origin, will move, and it's always there where you need it. And to work with Accurdraw, we have a little workflow that we always follow. And the first thing is you should place the origin somewhere, like I did, snap and left click, and then you can see where is the origin, and from here you can work, or you can go ahead. A second nice feature in Accurdraw is that you can use polar coordinates. Let's say the distance I get from my sketch or from my measurement is not in X and Y, but it is in distance and angle. So you could ask Mr. Pythagoras and then calculate something from hypotenuse and cathete, and I don't know the English words, sorry. But I think it's the same. Is it, Masum?
I'm not sure what you even refer to there, Ronald.
A rectangular triangle.
Yes. Rectangular triangle, pyramid?
You have no, you have a long side of the
Cuboid.
rectangular triangle. Sorry?
Yeah. Cuboid.
Yeah. And then you have two
cuboid,
shorter sides and so on.
Yeah,
And from this you can calculate from distance and angle. You can go back to X and Y and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to. I just press the mode key on my keyboard. It's M, and then Accurdraw will change to distance and angle. You can see the circle now as a compass. That's where you get polar coordinates from. And in the dialog, you can see we have polar coordinates like distance and angle, and still the z-axis. So you don't have to calculate, or you have to do some math here. You get everything on your screen. Okay, I go back to the XY, to the rectangular mode. Then we can go from here. The next thing would be I can change the rotation of my Accurdraw coordinate system. What you see on my screen now is the Accurdraw is placed on the screen. Yeah? So if I rotate the view in the background, then the Accurdraw compass will still a rectangular, a square. Yeah? And this one, the reason is it's placed on my screen, not regarding the coordinate system of the drawing. Yeah? And this is something you can change, and you must change if you work with Accurdraw. Yeah, so let's say the next element that I want to draw is located in the top view of my drawing, yeah, in the XY plane. And the top view you can get with the T shortcut. Yeah, so I press T, and Accurdraw is moving to a top view. You can see this rotating. And there are two other keys available. It's F for front view and S for side view. Very easy to remember. So if I want to go along the floor level, I go to top view, and then I can draw my line right here, yeah, to the left maybe. And that's what I get with this rotation. Very flexible. I have another example prepared I'd like to show you in a minute where you can use this. So place the compass at the location you need, and then look at the mode, yeah, depending on what you get, polar mode, rectangular mode, and then you can rotate the Accurdraw compass, yeah, to top, front, side maybe, or other options. And then you start drawing. And drawing with Accurdraw is so easy. Yeah? You simply move your cursor maybe to the left, and then Accurdraw will notice, okay, he's going to the left, that's minus X. You can see minus X in the dialog. If I go up in the green direction, it's positive Y. Yeah, and so on. Going right is positive X, and so on. I can move around the cursor, around the compass, and then that's the next step. I show the direction. I want to go over here. And I don't care about X and Y. Yeah? I just go over there, and I can see on the screen what happens. And then I type the distance. Let's go 7 meters. Type 7. Yeah? I don't have to type minus and plus and whatever. Accurdraw knows what I want to do. Yeah? And that's what I mean if I say it's so easy to work with. Look at the screen, move your cursor in the right direction, type how far you want to go. And at the end, you can accept this using the mouse button, left click, and you go to the next step. And this time I want to go in this direction, let's say about 5 meters, type my 5 over here. And so I can go ahead. Let's say we need to go up a little bit. Let's say that's an electrical wire and we have to go up to the rooftop. So I change my rotation to front view, and then I can go up. I'm using the X axis from Accurdraw to go up along the Z axis of a drawing. And that's what should I say? Many users don't understand that. You're used to get X, Y, and Z like it is in a drawing. Yeah, but Accurdraw is a very flexible coordinate system, and the rotation is always like this. We always use the X and Y plane in Accurdraw. Makes it very easy. And you can place the Accurdraw drawing plane in every direction you want to. So I want to go up another 5 meters, let's say. Then we are here. Now I'm in the side view. I can go to the left, exactly back to the origin. I can snap to the origin point, and then it will bring the same length over here. And let's go to the right again, to the start point back. That's where we get here. So very easy to draw in 3D, to draw objects like this. And yeah, you can see that's a simple line here in this case, but yeah, still effective. And yeah, that's how we draw using Accurdraw. I promised to have a different example, and let me go here inside the drawing. I've got something to place. Let me rotate it a little bit like this, and then we're going to move it. Let's say we have to do some, yeah, we have to place some signs for the elevator, and just adjusting my view. And we want to place a sign right here over the door, and then we want to place another sign right here to this face. And maybe these surfaces are not aligned to the drawing coordinate system. So it wouldn't be easy to get this in the right way. And with Accurdraw, it's also very easy. All I have to do is I have to pick my tool for place a cell. And then, okay, I need a cell library where all the signs are included. That's my equip cell. And I've got a elevator sign. That's a signboard for the elevator. Then I open or I activate the cell, and now the cell is at my cursor location. You can see it. It's totally wrong. It's pointing down, and it's not in the right direction. You can see it over here. And with Accurdraw, let's say the angle is 0 or 360. Now, with Accurdraw, I can say, okay, I want to go from here. That's my reference point. Then I activate my my origin right over here. And in this case, it's already at the right orientation, the right rotation. So I can place my cell right where I want to. Not scale at 1. Sorry for that, didn't prepare this drawing very well. So let's say in the full size. And Accurdraw helps me to get to these surfaces of solid elements, for example. And if I want to go to the right side here, then it wouldn't fit. So all I have to do is I do a little shortcut with Accurdraw. It's rotate element. Then I pick the element. You can see Accurdraw is rotated now. You have to accept. And that's how I get my sign to this side over here. I have to move my compass again. So I just pick the rotation that I need from an existing element because I want to place something else on top of this face. And that's also what you can do with Accurdraw. You copy the element properties into the Accurdraw coordinate system. And yeah, that's how you place objects in 3D very easily. And now let's place it right over here. And just to show you, go back to this orientation, to this origin, and let's place something over here. I don't know the distance. I could type the distance, but I don't want to. I just want to place it randomly. Accurdraw rotation is very important to get this, and that's how you get rotation from existing elements and how you use these information in Accurdraw coordinate system. It's not my mouse today, so I have to try a little bit. Yeah, that's basically Accurdraw. And I had something. Okay. Yeah, I have something on my list that I want to show you with Accurdraw. When I get some sketches or some measurement data, then maybe I want to draw a line, a total at a total length, but I get all the small steps of this line because my colleague couldn't measure that in just one step, and he delivered many little pieces to get this line. And I want to get the total length. So let's say we start over here, going to top rotation, and if I get something like this, let's say I get 3.5 meter, then I type 3.5 like this. And Accurdraw is also a calculator. So I can simply hit the plus button, and then I add the next value. Let's say it's 6.4. 6.4, and Accurdraw will calculate, and 3.5 plus 6.4 is 9.9. Okay, something that I could do manually without a calculator, but believe me, if you know Accurdraw, you forget how to calculate in your head. So you can do this. We know plus, minus, divided by, and multiplied Yeah, so you can use these different operations to calculate something. And there's even more. If you know something about programming languages, we have the full content of the programming language C included here. So if you want to do something like sinus or cosinus or tangent and whatever, you can do it. There are some keywords that you can type in Accurdraw and you can calculate almost everything. Many different difficult formulas that you can use.
That's great. I mean, a lot of typical day-to-day users of MicroStation will probably not be aware of, the complexities that you can achieve with Accudraw. But
Yep,
investing some time into understanding what the capabilities can do, and putting it into practice, it can shave off, hours from recreating the same menial things.
absolutely. And you always get something on the screen. Yeah, that's typical Accurdraw. You get a feedback on the screen. The new green line is coming up here, and um, as soon as you type something, let's say I'm going to type 1. Yeah, this is a just short line, 1 meter. If I add a 2 for 12, yeah, this is a 12-meter line, and this would be a 123-meter line. So you can see what you get. If you don't want to get this long line, you can change the value. And this is how you should work in MicroStation always. Look at the screen, try to get the information that MicroStation is telling you, and then you can work very effective. And about Accurdraw, we have nice little YouTube videos also about Accurdraw. So maybe you want to watch this or go to the Learn server. We also have some training materials for this, where you can learn all these things. One feature in Accurdraw, or one shortcut of Accurdraw, would be to create a new coordinate system. I can use Accurdraw to place a new origin. So I can do a, I have to remember what shortcut it is. Now I can use my shortcuts over here, and there are some some shortcuts available. Almost every letter in the alphabet is used, and you can see we got some rotation shortcuts like this, A, RC, or RE, many different options, and yeah, and now I remember what I want to use. I want to use the RA shortcut, rotate ACS. Rotate ACS is just define a new coordinate system. You can see I've got my coordinate system symbol right here at my cursor. So I can place this. The origin might be right over here. That's my new origin. Let's say over here. So the x-axis would point to this place. And the y-axis is pointing just up. And that's my new coordinate system. It's a rotated coordinate system. A little bit away from my global coordinate system, just a new one, because with this drawing plane, I'd like to work for the next 2 days or for this project for a very long time. Such a coordinate system, an auxiliary coordinate system, is something that you can add multiple times. So for example, you may want to have one for platform A, and you can get another one for platform B. And everything that you place in this coordinate system at platform A has some coordinates, and you can get very easy the coordinates from an object at this platform, as well as the coordinates from the same object in the global coordinate system. You can change between the different coordinate systems. But before we can change between the different coordinate systems, I have to save my coordinate system. It's a drawing aid, and that's where you get these tools from. And you can see that the current or active coordinate system is set to an origin. That's the distance to my global origin, and there's some rotation included, and so on. And as long as this one is unnamed, it's here, it's fine, but it may be gone if you reopen the drawing the next time. So let's save that one, and this is just my ACS. So this is how you create a coordinate system that will stay a little bit longer in my drawing than the Accudraw coordinate system. And at the end, I can go back to a global coordinate system. for example. Yeah, now I got my global coordinate system as the active coordinate system. Let me rotate the view a little bit. You can see that it's right over here. Yeah, this is my global coordinate system now. And let me save that one too. So I don't have to use the right click and reset. Yeah? And if I want to measure something, or if I want to know the coordinates in the global coordinate system, in the drawing coordinate system, then that's fine. Yeah? The global coordinate system is now my active coordinate system. And you can see that this platform, the point at this platform has some coordinates, and the distance is 0.4 meters. You can see it on the bottom of my screen here in Accurdraw. The distance is about half a meter in X and 14 in Y, and 7 meters up. These are the coordinates in the global system of the drawing. Now it's your turn. What the global system in your design is. Some users say the global coordinate system is just the origin of this station. Another reason could be you have a project origin, maybe, where you get everything together. If you work with a factory design, you may have a plant origin, where you can bring the buildings and all the assemblies together, and so on. There are different reasons or different usages for the global coordinate system. And I just turned on my my coordinate system here on the screen. I can see them better. Coordinate systems. Every CAD file has a coordinate system, has a global coordinate system. Yeah, and you know that maybe from AutoCAD or other CAD files that you can get some user coordinate systems. That's what we call an ACS, auxiliary coordinate system. So I can have many of them, and then I can move between these different coordinate systems. Yeah, and when I change to my ACS and put on, turn on some locks, then the top view will use the XY plane of my active coordinate system. That's another one. If I rotate to top, that's the top view now. And if I go back to my global coordinate system, then I have this one as a top view. It depends on the coordinate system that is our active coordinate system. So the view rotation is using the coordinate system rotation. And the coordinates are measured from this origin over here. You don't need Accurdraw to define a coordinate system. There are different tools available. So you could use simply an element that's already in your drawing. Just like I did with the RE, rotate to element feature in Accurdraw. So I can grab the drawing plane from an existing element. Or you can simply type 3 points, provide 3 points to get the coordinate system in 3D. Or maybe you have a view already rotated. You can rotate the view dynamically, and then you can get the coordinate system right from this view rotation. You can also get the coordinate system from a reference attachment, from an XREF, external reference. So you can import these from other files. Many options, and you can have almost as many as you want. I don't know. There's a limit, about 1,000 or 10,000. I don't know. Should be good. And these coordinate system will help draw elements. So if I activate my ACS once again, and then I go back to draw, let's say I draw a circle, then all I have to do is simply click somewhere in the drawing. You can see Accurdraw is now rotated. Let me go a little bit closer. Accurdraw is rotated to the XY plane of that coordinate system automatically, and you can use this for your next steps. And also the cells will be placed in this direction. So if I place a cell again, now you can see that the signboard is now in this rotation. And let's change the cell a little bit, maybe something more interesting. A ticket machine, maybe. That's a ticket machine, and double click. And the ticket machine will now be placed in this direction. And as I always say, look at the screen, look what you get from MicroStation, and if you see something like this is not how you place a ticket machine on a station. Yeah, so I'm in the wrong coordinate system. What can I do? I simply go back to my global coordinate system. Everything is back. Now I can place this one on top of a platform, and then everything is good. Accurate drawing. Yeah, we have AccuSnap, we have Accurdraw. We have to know about the working units and what we can get from these, what precision we can get from working units. There's one special coordinate system in MicroStation, and for this I'd like to change my drawing very quick. I'd like to go to the master file from this soccer stadium. Then let me close something. It's a very big file. We have to load tons of data in the background, so it may take a second to get this into the memory, but from here it will be very quick. I'm sorry for that, for letting you wait, but yeah, I didn't have time before the session to open this file. Should be there in a few seconds. Here we go. So I'd like to show you something from the top view, and let's fit the view one more time. And you can see this is a soccer stadium, football stadium, not American football, it's European football. And you can see there's an origin somewhere here in the middle of the field. And that's how we designed that stadium. And it's not really at a geographic location. Yeah, but if you know the location of this point on Earth, yeah, then you can add a geographic coordinate system in MicroStation very quick. Yeah, let me show you this one. We have some utilities here for geographic coordinate system, and there's a little icon or tool. Yeah, it's define placemark monument, and with a placemark monument, I can use different sources. I could use Google Earth. Yeah, I can create these files in Google Earth and import. I can also use these rectangular coordinates, Cartesian coordinates, or I can use lat long coordinates. Yeah? In this case, I know the longitude and latitude. So this is what I prepared. To be honest, this is something I prepared this morning. So all you have to know is the coordinates, the longitude and latitude from a certain point. Yeah? And then I can place my monument right over here in the center of the field. Yeah? I know this point is right here on Earth. The second information we need to know is the north direction. This is something you can set in the background. We have some tools here coming with the visualization tools, and there is I don't know where it is anywhere else, but in the Light Manager, there's a define north option. So I can say the north direction is simply pointing up to the y-axis. Provide coordinates at a certain point that you know, and provide the north direction. Or you can also provide more than just one coordinate. If you know the coordinates of some points around the stadium, you can do this also. And then from this little information, just one coordinate and the north direction, you can use another tool. It's the coordinate system, and we can calculate the coordinate system just from this information. That's the next step. So, and now my drawing is georeferenced. I know where I am on Earth. And do you want to know where we are? I guess so. No?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah. To know where we are, we can simply add a background map in MicroStation. Yeah? Just a little option. Whenever you get a coordinate system attached, Yeah, and this is just one way. Calculate the coordinate system from a place mark. There are different options also available. We have a huge library of coordinate systems, yeah, projected ones and geographic ones. And if we go to, let's say, to Europe, now we've got different countries in Europe, for example, Ireland, and then we got all the Irish coordinate systems, and we've got the ones from Germany and UK, and also the North American, and all over the world. We've got almost every common coordinate system included here. But I cannot use these ones because we drew the stadium, yeah, right next to the global origin. If you want to use one of these coordinate systems, yeah, you have to know the direction in X and Y, yeah, and we have to move our object, yeah, regarding the coordinate system we want to use. So if I go to Europe, maybe I know something about Switzerland. If you want to use the Swiss LV03 coordinate system, yeah, then you would have to move this one about 600,000 meters to the right and 200,000 meters up, and then it would be near Bern, yeah, the capital city of Switzerland. That's what you get from the coordinates here from the coordinate system. Yeah. For me, very difficult because I'm an electrical engineer and not a geographic expert, but yeah, I understand a little bit about this. Okay, we have a georeference drawing, and to know where we are is simply add a background map. You can do this using your view attributes. There's a background map setting, and this is something that you get from Bing Maps, Microsoft. And let's say I'm going to add a street map to get something in the background. It takes a while to download, to display, hopefully. Yeah, here we are. Now we can see, looks Irish, I guess. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see where we are. We are in Dublin, Ireland, Europe, planet Earth. Yeah. I don't know if this exact stadium is right here at this place, but there is a stadium at this place. Yeah. Let me prove this. As another option. If you don't have a background map, if you don't want to see a background map, you can also go over here and you can say, show me the location in Google Maps. Yeah, and then I go right here, let's say this location right in the middle of a stadium. Yeah. And then Google Maps will open and we can see, yeah, that we are right here at this place, and this should be a real stadium. Let me change the view. Oh, can I do it? Wait. Okay, over here. No, not Gelände. I want to get satellite. And you can see there is a stadium at this place. It looks almost like the one we had in our design. Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but maybe it's a different version of that stadium. So.
And when you do this, Ronald, the scales automatically align, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
The scale, yeah, there's a setting for the scale. You can say the zoom
Change it if you
value.
need
You can
to,
change the zoom value. You can also say, do we want to get a map or do we want to get a satellite or hybrid design?
That's great. That's great to
maps.
capture the external context of
Absolutely.
where your building or infrastructure piece is going to go. That's amazing.
And same inside MicroStation. I used a street map. You can also change to a hybrid map. Then you get more the pictures, the aerial images.
And it's very fast as well. It's loading really fast, and
yeah, it should be just like Google
smart.
Maps and Bing Maps, and like you get it in the browser. That's the same technology. You can read it over here. It's Bing Maps, and the provider of the map is Bing, Microsoft in this case, and some other providers for Dublin. Yeah, that's where you get the pictures and the maps from.
Great.
Yeah, and once we have this geo-coordinate system, yeah, you can do all the other things. Maybe from here you want to project your drawing into another coordinate system. Yeah? So you can use another one from the library, and then it will be reprojected. You can also use other data, like let's go back to home, and there are there's a raster manager where we can attach over here, where we can attach imagery, like a PDF file, for example, if it's georeferenced, or GeoTIFF files, aerial images, for example, you can use here. And then that's how you bring in other georeference data into your drawing. And MicroStation will know how to reproject all the data and how to bring them in the right location. It's a very strong feature. And yeah, some more things that you can do. Let me just mention or take a look at. We have a GPS connection, global positioning system, where you can connect to a device, and then maybe you put the drawing with a MicroStation on your laptop, and then go out, measure the current position, and then you can say, hey, at this position, I'd like to drop a data point. Maybe you go back to place cell, and then you place the cell at the data point that you get from the GPS position, or from the Microsoft location service. It's also available here. Doesn't have to be a real GPS device.
Mm-hmm.
Can use my laptop position service. It's not so accurate, but yeah, you could use it.
Great stuff.
It's not on because nobody should know where I am. I'm in Munich, downtown.
Might have to find you, Ronald, and ask you some good Microsoft questions. MicroStation.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So GPS is one of these options. You can also work together with Google Earth. For example, you can capture a Google Earth image for background imagery together with a terrain model. Very simple one, but you get the terrain from Google Earth with a picture mapped to it, and so on. These are different options you can do.
Ronald, should we wrap up? I think we're getting close to the end of the hour.
Yep.
And
Yep,
was that everything else you wanted to cover?
Yes, that's it.
Great stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Ronald. Great insight into two big topics that can assist all kinds of designers in all kinds of aspects. So especially in terms of design efficiency and creating efficient shortcuts to cut down those long design times. In the comment section, I've put two links to our manual for MicroStation. So for both GeoCoordination and AccuSnap and Accurdraw as well. Feel free to hit the links, and there should be a manual there to exactly show you how to undertake these and give you the in-depth technical details for the capabilities. So if I can just pass back to me for 1 second. So please keep the comments coming. It'd be nice to hear from you and see if we can answer some more of your questions. So if we can just move on to the way we do the licensing. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm struggling with my computer here. You can see my screen, right?
Just a computer. I can see it. I don't know. Yep.
Okay, you're on the Virtuosity screen, right? So our Virtuosity licensing systems work as annual subscriptions now, and that's the most convenient method to us. And with these licenses, of course, you receive what we call keys, which are essentially tokens that you can utilize towards training with us, and they come with the annual subscription as well. So if you have any new members of the team who are not proficient with this kind of software, our application engineers will be able to give them the guidance and the tailored training they need to get proficient with this software. These are the guided amount of hours that you'll receive with these new license purchases. So MicroStation, we've had a few series now. This is number 8. We've got a few more to go, and we've covered many typical areas, but generally we've proved and been able to outline that it's a very scalable bit of software. You can produce high quality deliverables. It's very simple to use and undertake, and of course, with it, you get good levels of consistency as well. So with the barcode on the left, the QR code, you scan that in, go ahead and visit our virtuosity.com/MicroStation website. And from there, you can download a 14-day MicroStation trial free of charge. So, get stuck in, try some of the tools that we've outlined and then test it. And hopefully you'll enjoy it and he'll be able to assist you with some of the designs you're undertaking. So again, thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. It's been myself, Mazlum, and Ronald here. And it's been a great pleasure to serve you all. If you have any problems, if you'd like to discuss anything technical or discuss anything related to licensing, please feel free to reach out to myself, and we'll be able to assist you as best we can. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Ronald.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a pleasure, as always.
Thank you.